All right, y'all. We're gonna have a short but important discussion about, you know, fitness and personal training real quick. All right. Okay, I had to move the seat forward a little bit. All right. I want to do a little bit of a PSA. A little bit of a PSA here. All right. I've been in the personal training game for a long time. I think I'm going into my 10th year in the business. All right. And I've had said bro looks like Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber. Thank you. I strive to look as dumb as possible. All right. Um I want to get this engine started up. I want to have a little bit of discussion about fitness and personal training. Okay. I've been in the game uh for a long time. Okay. And I've got to see a lot of what works and what doesn't work. I'm the type of trainer where I keep the programs relatively simple, but I'm very, very detail oriented when it comes to movement patterns, because in the end, if a person cannot move the way humans were intended to move, uh, dysfunction is coming. And with that dysfunction comes imbalances. With those imbalances comes discomfort. With discomfort comes pain. With pain comes injury. And it doesn't always come in that order, but that's generally how it goes. Sometimes you get the injury right off the bat when somebody does not move the way humans are made to move. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about this one particular trainer. This particular trainer's, been working at this, with his clients at the same location I've been, working at least as long as I've been there. So I've been there since like 2016, and I know that he's been there at least that long. Okay. He's working with a client. And, because I'm very detail oriented and I see everything all the time, everywhere, I noticed that this one particular client that he's had for a long time has the same fucked up movement patterns before the Rona, for years, the same fucked up movement pattern, right? But today I noticed that something was a little different. That was a cause for alarm. The dude's ability to perform the motion that he's been performing has improved in terms of explosive strength. Now, that sounds like a good thing. It's not always a good thing, especially if that explosive motion is built off of poor movement patterns. So the harder you squeeze, the harder that you are able to, in this case, we're talking about the squat, the harder you're able to snap your hips to extend at the hip. If it's on, shaky stability, the chances for injury go way up. And one of the things I've noticed, and the thing is, I've noticed this movement with his client for a very long time. And I've avoided saying anything because I understand the ego of the trainer. The ego of the trainer never wants to be questioned, and you don't really want you never want to be a client who has a trainer who's being questioned openly by anybody else in the building, because it reduces the faith that client will have in the trainer, right? But I noticed that this person's movement patterns were so bad, and they were forcefully bad, that I had to say something to the trainer. So what I did was I waited until the client had turned his back and started walking in another direction. And then I got the attention of the trainer, but the trainer did not see that I had already made sure that he would not be seen um, getting any kind of help or counsel from another trainer. I know that he cannot be seen, but he didn't see that I saw that. See, one of the reasons why I'm as good at what I do is because I'm extremely detail oriented, extremely detail oriented. So I already knew that there was going to be a social issue with it, but he waved me off. Oh, tell me later. I see him later after the session, and I'm like, listen, I'm seeing this, this, and this is why it's dangerous. Well, I've been talking to him about that for a long time. You don't know what the other issues could be, and blah, 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 blah. That made me feel very uncomfortable, being, have pulling me to the side or whatever. I'm like, listen, guy, if that guy ends up with a degenerative knee condition and you get blamed, that is going to take money out of your pocket. I am not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear. And because I can see that danger is imminent, that's the only reason I said anything to you at all. Now, I've seen this guy with his poor movement patterns for at least 2 years. But here's the thing. When I let this guy know, hey, I noticed that he's got this or that movement pattern, and this is the thing that I can see that is likely the cause of this movement pattern. The dude had the nerve to tell me about how he's got an exercise science degree in all of this. And this is how you are able to tell the difference between a good trainer and a great trainer. A great trainer will understand that no matter what kind of education you have as a trainer, the proof is always going to be in the movement patterns and in the efficiency of those movement patterns of the client. Your degree matters not. If I see that, we're talking about multiple years of the same movement pattern and it has not improved, and your excuse to me is, well, I've been talking to him about it. If you cannot elicit a response in terms of a change of mental, neurological, physical approach, you are failing your clients. You're stealing their money. If you are out there looking for a personal trainer, get a trainer that understands kinesiology and will not let you move poorly for multiple years. One of the things that I found that was very interesting in his retort is that he says, I've been talking to him about his shoes for a blah, blah, blah. If you are a professional, you need people who are going to take your professional advice and act on it. Anything other than that is a failure. And in a game where personal training is not one of the most respected professions for a variety of reasons, you cannot accept people who will not follow your professional directives, or you have to warn them that if they don't follow your professional directives, they run certain risks and that you need to be indemnified from the consequences if those risks tend to come through to a negative fruition. You cannot tell me about your exercise science degree if you are giving instructions to your client and your client does not listen. And newsflash, people, if you are squatting in running shoes, you are fucking up. Running shoes have way too much cushioning, and because of the way that they're shaped and the way that running shoes are meant to propel you forward, when you're trying to squat and deadlift, you're not trying to be propelled forward. That's not where you want your weight on your feet to be shifting. You don't want your weight on your feet to be shifting at all underneath you. So if you are a personal trainer and you cannot get your clients to follow your directives, then you need to find another way to get your message across or get rid of them. Because one of the things that the clients will always forget is that when you gave them instructions they did not follow and they get hurt and they sue you, your insurance is going to drop you and you're going to lose a lot of money. You cannot accept poor movement patterns from your clients and just think, well, I told them, I told them. When you've got people with, 100 pounds, 150, 200 pounds on their back, you cannot accept them not following your directions. If you are a client of a personal trainer, the best things you can do is to follow their directions. Because what he said about having an exercise science degree was mostly about ego, but there is a thing to it. If he has the exercise science degree and he's the guy that has studied kinesiology, and he tells you you should not wear such and such shoes when you do such and such motions, and you continue to come to your sessions in those shoes, you're showing a lack of respect for his profession. And it doesn't matter how much you're paying. If you hire a personal trainer, and personal training is not cheap, actually follow what the fuck they're telling you. Because everybody in the gym is watching. Everybody. And not everybody understands what they're seeing, but the people who do understand what they're seeing, they're looking at both of you with a side eye. And then when that client disappears, oh, what happened to such and such? Oh, such and such, had a surgery. If the client doesn't fire you from the injury, you're looking at weeks, months, perhaps even multiple months with them on the shelf and you not getting paid. If another trainer is coming to you on the floor, this is for the trainers, if another trainer is coming to you on the floor and is saying, yo, something ain't right, you better fucking listen. Because that trainer could just say nothing and then wait for the worst to happen. And you know what ends up happening? When somebody sees that somebody got hurt on your watch, ain't nobody in the gym going to be hiring you. And they don't care whose fault it was. They don't care, that somebody didn't follow your instructions. They see somebody wince in pain. They see the ambulance come and they say, you know what? I'm not working with that trainer. Not going to do it. Don't let that be you. Don't let your ego get in the way of you making money. Don't let it happen. Don't let it happen to you. It's not worth it. If somebody is saying something to you, it's probably because it's important. And the funny thing is, he's trying to tell me about etiquette like I haven't been in the game. And I let him know. He said, if you see that, like somebody's about to get hurt, then you say something. I said, I've watched this for a long time. I saw how explosive he was on these poor movement patterns. That's the only reason why I said anything to you at all. And I tried to protect you from looking bad. You didn't see that I was looking to protect you, but I was. Oh, I felt uncomfortable. I can understand why you felt uncomfortable. This particular trainer, he's on the feminine side. So, you kind of have to, let's just leave it like that. I'm sorry that you felt uncomfortable, but I don't want money taken out of your pocket. I don't want your client to get injured. Guys, the difference between a good trainer and a great trainer is that a good trainer is going to create a good program for you. A great trainer is going to make sure that that program is executed properly. A good trainer is going to make sure that the reps get done. A great trainer is going to make sure that the reps get done in a way that is going to promote future good movement patterns and going to inspire confidence both in your ability to move under load and out into the world. A good trainer relies on his education. A great trainer puts his ego to the side and says, well, if somebody's saying something to me, I got to look out for this. If you're a professional, your fucking comfort is not paramount. Your client's comfort is paramount. And if you want to continue to get their money, your ego needs to suffer some kind of death. Otherwise, your clients are going to be more at risk and your pockets are going to suffer an ego death. This is Dr. Evil coming at you with a little bit of a driving video on on fitness shit. Any questions that you have about fitness, you can always direct it to me, especially when we do TSP. Until then, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.